Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that has helped millions around the globe build confidence with public speaking. Since 1924, our Learn by Doing program will give you improved communication, public speaking, and leadership skills, all while building confidence for your next big presentation, whether it's in person or online. From those looking to change the world to those just looking to give a boost to their career, we know how to help. Build confidence in you. Visit toastmasters.org/find to connect with one of our over 16,000 clubs, meeting online or in person.
Okay. It's being recorded. Thank you very much, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, guests and visitors. My name is Zintle Groepe and I am your Sergeant at Arms. I'd like to welcome you this evening, Friday the 13th. Yes, that's right. It is the day before Valentine's Day. With a show of hearts, please keep the chat interactive. Show me, tell me, are you ready for Valentine's? Do you have a partner that you are celebrating with, or are you on that self-love mode? It is 18:04 on our side. I see the love in the air indeed. Mr. President, I would like to ask that we ensure that we remain very cognizant of the fact that we are being recorded, firstly, and there are people who will be sharing their prepared speeches, so we minimize disruptions by ensuring that we are muted unless we are on the virtual podium. And secondly, please ensure that you minimize those disruptions throughout, whether it's opening your video when the speaker is speaking or causing some form of disruption altogether. It is 18:04, and now I officially hand over the reins to our president. Mr. President, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam SAA. You look gorgeous. Can you give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? You can unmute and please give our Madam SAA for starting us off. Big round of applause for her.
Yeah.
Poo, 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 poo. I also miss now Madam VPE with poo, 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 poo to start us off with that energy. So thank you, Neo. Thank you, Neo. Let's try to keep going or carrying that culture forward, to make some noise, to have some fun, to unwind from a long week. I'm happy that our meetings are on Fridays. Phew. You know that feeling, the sigh of relief when you realize, my goodness, it's about to be a weekend. I don't have to wake up early tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the weekend, but what a way to start your weekend with Toastmasters. A fun way of unwinding, a fun way of learning during moments of enjoyment. But before I elaborate on that, let me start from the beginning once more time. I usually start these opening remarks by greeting each and everyone in the call. Firstly, I will introduce myself for the benefits of those who do not know me. I am Sibo Mgolozeli, the current president and proud president of Visionary Readers Toastmasters Club. Tonight, I am excited for so many reasons because, of course, you might have heard the hints already from Madam SAA. It is the month of love. And in addition to that, it is a Black History Month. And I'm looking forward to read a couple of things for you before we carry on. So with that, I'm actually asking or maybe pleading with you to pay attention to our theme this evening. That is our theme from the agenda. For those who do not have the agenda yet, check in our chats. The agenda is there. I'm sure Madam PR has shared the agenda for the benefits of those who are not part of our various WhatsApp groups. So the theme, one more time, is Black History Month. Let's reflect and recognize. Let's reflect and recognize. This evening, we are basically trying to remember and appreciate how far we've come as Black people. And with all of that being said, and actually share, I'm going to share a little bit of history and origin of this Black History Month. I think we're catching up with the rest of the world now in terms of these big holidays, and with an American influence, we tend to be adopting these public holidays and celebrations or commemorations that are adopted elsewhere in the world. So, of course, Black History Month started in the United States. And of all the things I can say about the Black History Month, you might have known basically it originated from the emancipation of Black people from slavery. And the reason why they chose the month of February is because probably of two reasons. And this is related to the birth of these two legends that we know. Maybe some of you might know a bit about the American history. So the first one, of course, is Abraham Lincoln, whom was the first elected president or the first president in the United States who eventually abolished the laws of slavery. And of course, another person that I cannot, ignore to also acknowledged for his contribution towards this emancipation of Black people from slavery and his involvement in human rights movement. This is Frederick Douglass. He's a special case because he's not as famous like the civil rights, leaders or activists. He himself was basically someone whom we can connect, especially as Visionary Readers Toastmasters Club or the lovers of books, because he was an author. And one thing that stands out for me about his story, he taught himself how to read and how to write and how to speak. He was also, as in his CV, he was known as an orator, not just a speaker and a writer. And other people back then were inspired by his story to such an extent that one of his quotes, I think, if I remember correctly, it says, "Once you learn to read, you will forever be free." And this is now at that time for people who are experiencing slavery. For himself, he freed himself before they were officially free as Black people during slavery. So I found that fascinating for someone who loves to read, and it's also like a great platform, this Toastmasters Club, to share this story or this origin of the Black History Month. So Abraham Lincoln was born on the 12th of February, while Frederick Douglass was born on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day now. I don't know much about Valentine's Day, but all I know is that today is the 13th of February and tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I won't share much about Valentine's Day because I'm going to stick to the theme today. And I think that's all I wanted to share basically around the Black History Month. Of course, I think according to the internet, it's originated, or it was usually called I can't remember the first name that it was called. I think the Negro History Week. It started as a week. Imagine that name. Basically, it's the derogatory term now, the term Negro. But basically, with time, it evolved into a Black History Month. It started as a celebration like during the week around the early 1920s. So since then, it evolved and became the Black History Month. I think I've shared already in terms of our theme. I just got excited when I did a little bit of research and reading about the Black History Month, and of course, in connection with our theme this evening. Right, ladies and gentlemen, maybe while we're still waiting for more players to come, I can see now in the list of participants, most of the people that we're waiting for have joined the room, which means we are ready to rumble, we are ready to go, we are ready to learn more from each other. As I can almost say we have a speaker-thon this evening because according to my program, we have more than 4 speakers who are going to grace us, who are going to teach us about what they have prepared this evening. So I think it's okay to say this, we have a speaker-thon. So please feel free, feel at home, relax, have your beverage next to you or water, whatever the case may be. Have some fun and learn as much as you can. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening, I won't only be the president, but I'll also take the role of the Toastmaster. But before I come back, I'll just make sure I follow through as per the program. I won't be alone. I have a team who's going to help me to run or to steer the ship from the beginning till the end. And to help me to do that, this team composed of the people who's going to lead the team, of course, is the general evaluator. And without maybe consuming more time, since Madam GE cannot speak at the moment. I'll put her last. I would like to ask each and every role player, as per the program, we'll start maybe with Madam Grammarian Anna Costa. Please describe both of your roles, starting with the grammarian. You'll move afterwards to our counter. Then after you, I want to come in between. We'll allow Madam Timer, Neo to come, or Tumelo, and then after Neo, I will come and try and see if Madam GE is back, and then after her, we'll also introduce. I think even it will be better if we have table topics introduction in the beginning, because we forget about table topics sometimes. Let me not delay any further and allow Madam Grammarian to introduce herself and her role. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and visitors. I'm Anna Costa, and as grammarian for this evening, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and what is being said and how it's being said. I'll take note of any misuse of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day is lit. If you look in the chat, it's the first post. The meaning of lit is actually a word that comes from the social media slang. So we're going very hip today. Lit means exciting, amazing, or really fun. It is often used to describe parties, events, or Toastmasters meetings, experiences that are full of energy and enjoyment. An example of the word, that party was lit. The party was very fun and exciting. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. And at the end of the meeting, when called upon to do so, I will give a report on the word of the day, who used it and how many times, as well as a grammatical usage report. Then I do have a second role for this evening as R counter. As R counter, the purpose is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch phrases or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so. I'll also listen for filler words, including oh, I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, and so on and so forth. This means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you so much. And over to our next role player, which is our timer, Tumelo. Thank you.
A very good evening to you all, Toastmasters, fellow visionary readers, and guests. Thank you so much, Anna, for the wonderful introduction and handover. So tonight, think of me as the guardian of your minutes, the protector of the agenda, and making sure that no one turns a 5-minute speech into a 3-part series. As we reflect on the Black History Month, we are reminded that timing always mattered. Leaders like your Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King didn't just have powerful messages, they delivered them at the right moment. And those are the moments that changed the world. So the key is not spending time, but investing in it. So says the book of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. So think of me as meeting the GPS, where green, it means you're cruising very nicely. Yellow, meaning that the destination is near. And red, meaning that you have arrived to your destination. Please park confidently with grace. And since the word of our day is lit, I promise to keep the lights lit and energy bright and the timing right. And with the timing of these prepared speeches, it's a minimum of 5, maximum of 7 minutes. For table topic speakers, it's 1 to 2 minutes. Evaluators are given total 2 to 4 minutes. Thank you very much. I hand back over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. This is going to be late indeed. I've never thought of introducing the timer's role that way. We are about to reach your destination. You have arrived. You made me laugh. Thank you so much for that. But I do hope that our fellow Toastmasters will know exactly what that means. When you're about to reach your destination, please remember you have about 2 minutes to wrap up. And when you have reached your destination and it's red, it means your time is up. You have further 30 seconds to wrap up your speech or delivery. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me check one more time if Madam General Evaluator is back now. Madam GE, over to you.
I am back with a bang. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. And I will be your total quality manager of the meeting. Basically, I'll be looking at everything that gets done and everything that doesn't get done in this meeting to ensure that we are still keeping to the Toastmasters guidelines. So, what I love about this role of mine is that I don't get evaluated, but I get to evaluate everybody. Big brother, or should I say, big sister, is watching you tonight. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam GE. Truly appreciate it. And I'm so glad that your network is getting better. I can still see, though, your network bandwidth is slow. Maybe you can try another trick, maybe in preparation when you come back to the virtual stage. Otherwise, that was enough for now. We heard you loud and clear. Thank you so much. At this point, I was suggesting that we are going to have also an introduction for the table topics, but unfortunately, our table topics master is not yet here. And I would like maybe to skip this part of the introduction until she arrives. On the side, I asked our Madam DVD to consider being our backup. So, Madam DVD, I don't know if you saw the message in the chat, but I won't ask you, I won't put you on the spot now. Please think about it. Towards the end of the meeting, you can maybe just let us know if you are ready. You can just respond to that. Hopefully, you will be able to assist in case our Madam Table Topics Master doesn't join us. Right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we have come to the end of our introductions, which is the first segment of our Toastmasters meeting. We will now move to the second part of the meeting, which is the prepared speeches. That is where I'm going to put in my head now as a Toastmaster of the evening. I won't waste time seeing that we have a lineup which is packed. I would like to get straight into it by allowing our first evaluator, Anele, to come to and introduce the first speaker this evening, who is going to be Niels van der Merwe. Anele, please come to the virtual stage and give us the criteria for Niels' speech. Over to you.
Evening, everyone. For Niels' speech this evening, the purpose of this project is for the members to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. The title of today's speech would be Conflicts versus Encouragements, Voicing the Elephants in the Room. Good luck to you, Niels, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam First Evaluator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome to the virtual stage our first speaker in this lit Toastmasters event, and it's going to be Niels van der Merwe, speaking to the title, Conflict versus Encouragement, Voicing the Elephant in the Room. Conflict versus Encouragement, Voicing the Elephant in the Room. Niels van der Merwe.
Today, I had a wake-up call. Me and my mom was driving back to Pretoria from visiting my auntie in heavy traffic close to the toll gate. I wanted to turn into the next lane because I got so agitated on how slowly the car in front of me was driving. How dare he? Does no one know how to drive properly? I thought. When a grey Toyota Bakkie, nearly 2 centimeters apart from us, turned into the lane, I swerved back into my lane, having a roller coaster sounding squeal. Woo! Now, call it what you want, but that is what I call protection from the Most High God. Thank you, God. I have to say, on the drive back, all I could think about before that moment was how stressed and doubtful I am about how I would present my speech to you. Wonderful people tonight. What a wasteful way to have gotten into an accident, or worse, doubting and having anxiety about a place I feel safe about and comfortable to be in. Yet, at the same time, judging the person in front of me about their circumstantial slowness without even considering how their day was or what their experiences of the situation was. I just sat there, my mom calm and composed, and me just reconsidering everything. Esteemed visionary readers, evaluators, fellow speakers and guests, tonight I come to you lit with an open mind, steering the moment into one filled with gratitude and opportunity, focused on voicing the elephant in the room. I saw an Instagram quote from a reel I watched just 25 minutes before that moment, and it goes like this. You fell in love with my flowers, but not with my roots. So then autumn came, and you didn't know what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, are we more focused on the flowers of the field that when people show us their roots, we just persecute, self-victimize, and justify bad thoughts about them? Well, if that was ever you, don't worry, I've been there. The elephant of conflict lays his heavy lumps and blows his bellows to fan a flame, something horrible in us all. No one knows what I had to endure. I am the victim. You better stay out of my way, he loudly declares. Now, pointing at it makes me feel a little less concerned about the other person showing me their roots. And just for a moment, I noticed the raging buffoon who exposes the deep, running, rotten roots that almost got me to lose my life far too soon. We all want to be a light, for sure, emphasizing, listening, caring for others in our capacity as faulty human beings. But life sure has a way of bringing out the worst in us in the moments we least expect it. My fellow mediators, what is our vision for this long wilderness of a year ahead? Well, I know that this big, bombastic baddie will most probably find a way to block our grateful path ahead. The giant tyrant has two moves up its sleeve. It will either throw a mock charge and attempt to scare and direct your gratitude away and give it to negativity. Ah, the elephant is chasing me! All while it bluffed and got you to believe you're the victim. Or the serious one. It curls up its trumpet and thrills a melody of discord. It thumps its pudgy feet onto the ground and starts charging at you. Now what? All you can do is be negative, right? I mean, this is life or death we are talking about. I totally have the right to be negative. He's got me in a corner. You know, research says that elephant really got a limited bifocal view. What does that mean? It means if I stay positive, rooted in a heart of gratitude, and running in a zigzag pattern, then the big smart dummy won't know where I'm going. He'll think I have gone left or right. All the while, all that I have done is outsmart the enemy and held on to my heart of gratitude. Nelson Mandela, Madiba, our treasured and revered founding father of a better, grateful tomorrow, once said this: I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from a nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head into the sky and one's feet moving forward. There were many dark moments when my faith in humanity was sorely tested, but I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays death and defeat. Defending ourselves and others around us from the elephant of conflict is where our hearts begin to say, I will outrun, outsmart, and outlast the enemy of old. Our president has known many tribulations, largely self-inflicted. But what came out of the other sides of the prison door was a president of gratitude that declared boldly, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul, from a poem of Invictus. My beautiful people, let's choose to lift up, encourage, and wear our hearts of gratitude. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all please unmute and give Niels a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Niels. That was really, really entertaining. I felt like for some reason I'm in the theater and watching people acting out different scenes, different plays, the way you use your voice and your body language. You made me laugh, and really, I'm really, really entertained right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed witnessing the word of the day. This room is getting lit. And let's move on to our next speaker now. And before our next speaker comes to the virtual stage, I am going to ask our second evaluator. Our second evaluator is our Mr. Secretary, Mpendulo Dlamini, to introduce Phindile Nonyane. Over to you, sir. Give us the speech criteria.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Today good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I'll be evaluating Phindile, Toastmaster Phindile. Phindile would be delivering her second project under level 2. Phindile's pathway is presentation mastery. Her speech title is The Mirror Doesn't Lie. What's my communication style revealed about me? As part of her journey in understanding her communication style, Phindile would be sharing the impact of her communication style with others. Over to you, Toastmaster Phindile, and good luck.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome to the stage. Before we even welcome her, please stay ready. When she's done presenting, let's make this room lit. Be ready to unmute and make some noise, use the emojis, show some love. This is a month of love, by the way. So let's be loud and be loud as much as we want. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, please get ready. At this point, help me welcome Phindile Nonyane, speaking to the title, The Mirror Doesn't Lie. my communication taught about. Okay, let me read it before I mess it up. The mirror doesn't lie. What my communication style taught me. The mirror doesn't lie. What my communication style taught me. Pindile Nonyane, over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. My apologies. I'm not winning with my video. If that's okay, can I continue without the video?
Yes, you can, ma'am. Carry on.
Great stuff. Have you ever listened to your own voice in a recording and thought, is that really how I sound? I recently completed my Discover Your Communication Style assessment. And what I found was more than a style. It was a mirror. And hey, a mirror doesn't lie. Fellow Toastmasters, visitors, and guests, today I want to share what I have reflected on, what I recognized, and how understanding my communication style is shaping me into a stronger leader, speaker, and a coach. Because sometimes growth doesn't begin with speaking better. It begins with seeing yourself clearly, and this is awareness. The assessment revealed that I am primarily an analytical communicator. This means I am accurate. I value accuracy. I value logic. I value data over decision. I value thoughtful response over impulse. When I communicate, I aim for clarity and precision. This is my strength, and it has served me well in leadership, in avoiding costly mistakes, in my coaching, in diagnosis and root cause, and also in strategy, making well-informed decisions. But every strength has got a shadow. What I reflected on was that my blind spot, being analytical, can also mean overthinking, appearing distant and serious, prioritizing facts over feelings, and waiting for perfect information before acting. And that's exactly how I am. Sometimes I assume that other people, they value data as I do. But some people need connection first, not a report. Some need encouragement, not an analysis. Reflection has showed me that being correct isn't the same as being effective. Now, understanding this has allowed me to communicate clearly. And communication, it evolves from information to influence. This has actually reminded me of a powerful thought that says, communication is not just self-expression, it's audience-centered. My analytical foundation gives me stability, and adapting to it, it gives me influence. And influence, it is leadership. As one of the thought leaders, John C. Maxwell says, leadership is influence. You cannot lead others effectively until you reflect on yourself, recognize your strengths, and confront your blind spots. In conclusion, being analytical is not about being quiet or serious. It is about deliberate contribution, bringing order to complexity, and speaking with intention. And now that I know my style, I am empowered to reflect to refine it, and not to abandon it. Because awareness is the beginning of mastery. And mastery is being able to see yourself clearly in a mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much, Pindile. Wow. I like this is getting better by like I think let me focus on Pindile specifically. Like as a president, I've witnessed her speeches over time. She's one of our recent new members. And I think the way she speaks now with clarity, we can see those quality of leadership, the way she speaks, the way her content is intentionally crafted and with herself, with intentions as a coach. Ma'am, you are going far. Let me tell you that. I don't want to share much about your speech. I'm not your evaluator, but now I think we are actually reaching your goal of joining Toastmasters. You are getting there you are getting there in terms of your vision and your goals. I'll stop there and thank you so much for taking the time, the efforts. I just so wish that your video did not disappoint you, but we'll work it out next time. Let's hope it will be better. Once again, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go now to the third and final speaker this evening. Side note to you, Madam Timer, this speech now is not going to take 5 to 7 minutes. It's a bit longer. Please prepare to time her from 12 to 14 minutes. So you can make it green at 12 minutes, amber 13, and we have arrived at our destination at 14 minutes. So she has 14 minutes to arrive at her destination. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is going to be Zintle Groepe, but she is going to be evaluated by Erica McKay. Erica, please come to the virtual stage and give us criteria for Zintle Groepe's speech. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So I'm so pleased to be evaluating Zintle's speech today. Zintle is doing a really awesome project. So as you progress through the pathways, the projects become more and more in depth. And this particular project is called Managing a Difficult Audience. So it's a fun one for everybody to get involved. The aim of this project is for Zintle to practice the skills needed to manage audience challenges while they are presenting a 5 to 7 minute speech. So Zintle will be doing her speech, but I encourage us to interrupt, to ask questions, and my role as evaluator is to feedback on how Zintle handled those interruptions. Really looking forward to this. This is a fun one. If there are any visitors in the room, this is a really fun one. Please don't get worried if people seem rude. We're doing it on purpose. Okay, we don't normally do this, but for this particular project, we're doing it on purpose. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Erica. Maybe a side note also to the audience. It's Friday, my fellow audience members. Before this speech, I would like to encourage you to act or pretend that you are drunk. And imagine a drunk who is in the room, a very serious room. They don't care. They're just disruptive. So please feel free to do that in this next speech. However way you want to do it, but it's all up to you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome on stage our third and final speaker this evening. Her name is Zintle Groepe. She will be speaking to the title. Okay, here you go. The title says, The Shaking Glass. Speaking through the fear. The shaking glass, speaking through the fear, Zintle Groepe.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and to the visitors. Tomorrow is my birthday, so please be nice. Please be nice.
Happy birthday.
supposed to have announced that at the end, not you.
Can we sing happy birthday?
I think so.
Shall we sing?
Yes,
Let's
let's
sing happy
go.
birthday.
Happy
Three,
birthday to you.
You.
happy birthday
To
to you.
Happy
Happy birthday
Birthday.
day
Happy birthday.
you.
Very
Ay,
end,
ay, 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 yasguzwa.
please mute yourself, fellow Toastmasters. Please mute yourself. We can keep the celebrations and keeping this room lit to the very end of my speech. Thank you very much. Now imagine this. You've prepared for hours, your slides are perfect, your speech is ready, and suddenly your mind goes blank. Your heart
Well, that's
races.
me, I wonder.
Something, please, can I ask you to mute yourself? And Toastmaster Anna, if I may ask you to please keep the chat going. If I may ask, what do you think the fear of public speaking really costs you? Toastmaster Anna, if you could please keep the responses in the chat in check so that we have an answer at the end of this very speech. Something steals your breath before you can utter a single word, and all you can manage is a few and M's. And you feel like the floor just swallowed you up. Do you know what just happened to you? Toastmaster Anna, can I ask you to please answer that question in that instance where you feel like you've done your best and all of a sudden you go blank? What do you think just happened to you? If you can please unmute yourself.
Well, if you go blank, it's because you haven't been paid attention to yourself, and maybe there's something in the water I drank that's making me forget.
That's quite funny. Thank you very much for that response. Well, my friend, what just happened to you in that moment action is called glossophobia. Now, what is glossophobia really? Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. The fear, glossophobia, originating from the Greek word glosso, which means tongue, and phobia, which means fear. Better yet, we can call glossophobia the fear of letting your tongue do what it's supposed to in front of others. I cannot imagine what it felt like when you first did your first speech. I want to ask that you ensure that you keep your comments and your questions to the very end so that they are addressed. I assure you we will get to that point. Today, I'm going to share 3 key points that will help you understand and manage this fear.
How do you spell glossophobia again, please?
What
Is it correct in the
kind of
chat? Double
speech
S?
is this in Gigant? What are you telling
All
us?
right, so I'm going to ask that you mute yourself, or rather, I did not get who was speaking just now. Can you please unmute yourself?
I was wondering, is glossophobia with 2 S's or 3?
Right. Glossophobia is definitely with 2 S's, but
Okay.
do you know what glossophobia really entails? How does it show up in your everyday life? Right. Okay, we'll answer that question at a very later stage. Glossophobia is and how common it is, how glossophobia steals opportunities, especially in the workplace. And then, lastly, I'm going to share 3 tools that will help you manage those nerves. By the end of the speech, you will see your fear differently, not as a weakness, but actually as a guide, because rest assured, we do need those nerves here and there. Please note your comments. We will address all the comments and the questions right at the end. So we asked earlier on, what is glossophobia really? It is the fear of public speaking. But the comedian Jerry Seinfeld once joked, according to most studies, people's number 1 fear is public speaking. Number 2 is death. So at a funeral, most people would rather be in the casket themselves than delivering a eulogy. Can we see in the comments what you would rather do in that instance? I'm going to ask.
I'd rather be much alive.
I'm going to ask our. Okay, I did not see who was speaking. Can I just get the name so that I can ask you to keep us alive in the chat? There is a task I would like to give you.
Anele was speaking.
I beg your pardon?
Anele.
Okay, so Anele, here's what I would like you to do. We're going to have an interactive session. I'm going to ask you to please keep all the responses in the chat box once we get to that interactive that responsibility.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear. Got you.
I'm going to ask you to please ensure that you keep that chat box watched so that we can get the responses at the very end. Although what Mr. Seinfeld said, glossophobia is not really something to laugh about. It is something very real. Research shows that up to 75% of people experience anxiety when speaking in public, making it one of the most common fears in the world. Glossophobia goes deeper than stage fright. It is rooted in the echoes of our past. I want to need you to please pay attention to this because in most cases, we explain glossophobia as just fear of speaking. May I please ask you to mute yourself? I'm going to ask whoever is helping spotlighting to ensure that the mics are muted. Please mute the mics. Thank you very much. Glossophobia shows up in the echoes of our past, the embarrassment that still burns, the moments that shrank our confidence, the harsh words that clipped our voices, the times our ideas were dismissed as unworthy. Fear doesn't appear suddenly. It grows from places our voices were once and it came from it was my ideas. I lost my confidence and eventually I lost my voice. But luckily, there are ways to ensure that you manage this glossophobia. Now, Toastmaster Anele, that interactive task or activity I was going to ask you to take responsibility of, we have gotten to that part. Now, I'm going to ask all the participants, imagine you are on a walking trail in the wild.
Yes, Fuji.
Please mute yourself, or rather, would you like to share what you
Zintle, you haven't answered our questions. We asked questions 5 minutes ago.
Questions will be answered right at the end of the session. If you could please give me an opportunity to get through the rest of the speech. May I ask that get to the activity? Imagine that you're walking in the wild, minding your own business.
I'm scared of the wild. Can we change the scenery, make it something else?
No, ma'am. This is exactly where we are going. Thank you very much. Let's give other people a chance to interact with the speech. Thank you very much. You're walking in this trail, and all of a sudden, you hear a roar. Next thing you see,
I just knew it. Please let's not hear a hiss either. I'm very scared of snakes.
With yourself, let's get to the end of the speech. We need to get to the end of the speech so that we can hear how you can manage this glossophobia. Thank you very much. And you lock your eyes in that moment with a lion. Now the question is, what is it that you do? This is where I would like you to answer in the chat.
Do you think
Anele, if you can please.
Maybe catnip will calm down the lion. It won't roar. You know catnip? It's a herb.
She's still there. Hello?
I think she's run away. The lion must have chased her.
It's Lion King out there.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that lion is not going to be eating anyone tonight. We have exactly the way to manage that lion. That lion is not going to attack us tonight, at least not tonight. So in that mind, you're thinking of that scenery. And now the question is, what do you do in that moment? First, do you fight, which will surely ensure that you stand your ground, and this will only work if you're well prepared with the right tool. Secondly, flight, which would be the most reasonable thing to do, because what then do you do when this lion is charging at you? The idea, of course, is to ensure that you survive. And the third option would be to freeze. And that will certainly get you eaten. If you freeze, you'll certainly get yourself eaten. So those are the three options. I'm going to ask you to please answer in the chat. What is your first response in that moment? As you answer that, I would like to also ask you to please just think of the moment or the day or a time in your past before you joined Toastmasters. Your first reaction when you're asked to speak unexpectedly. You know those impromptu speeches, which we are getting to eventually. I believe we do have table topics. That is exactly what we do in table topics. Test your impromptu speech skills. In that moment when you have to give your first speech or you're asked to speak in front of an audience for the first time, what was your reaction? Please.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Please share your insight as to what did you do in that instant? What got you prepared? Why were you so excited about the instant?
Hi everyone. My name is Colleen, and
It's nice to see you.
hi. So I find that when I over prepare, I tend to get stuck in my head. So I absolutely enjoy being caught off guard because I feel that's when I perform the best. So table topics is one of my favorite things compared to prepared speeches because I tend to over prepare, get stuck in my head, and then things just literally go downhill from there. But I'm working on that, so see you soon.
Congratulations. You have just answered that question, that one of the tools that we need to be cognizant of or we need to be aware of is the idea that for you to overcome glossophobia, you need to be very prepared. Thank you very much for that insight. Now I'm going to ask Toastmaster who was keeping our chat in check. Please tell us, what is the most common response in the chat? In the chat, fight, flight, or freeze? Toastmaster Anele?
According to everyone, they would rather play dead. Besides Anna, who would give her special water, and I would like to know what is in a special water because it sounds very lit.
So if I heard you correct, did you say fight or flight?
They would freeze.
They will freeze, right?
Yes.
It's very common to think that in that instant, that freezing or flight for that matter is the most reasonable reaction. Most people would rather flight. I'm glad we're having a different case in this chat room because it gives us all the options. Most people would flight. The one thing you want to do is run for your life. You notice how in that moment that your reaction doesn't mean that you are incapable. Not at all. It shows that your body is reacting to what it perceives as a threat. The more equipped you are, like the Toastmaster previously mentioned, that being prepared is very important. I do apologize for forgetting your name. The more prepared you are, the more likely you are. You can fight rather than flight or freeze. Now here's my story with freezing or being fearful or being touched by glossophobia.
Yes, preach, go for it.
I need you to please stay put for me. My battery is dying and I need to get
ha,
I think she's taken flight. She didn't freeze, she ran.
I think she ran away. Why? Come on, it was just
Oh
getting
no,
good.
in fact, she was just getting her tools ready. She was just getting her tools just in time. And that is what being prepared means. It means that for any situation, you can actually be ready to fight that lion. Now, in that situation, as we were saying, that most people would rather choose to flight, but that would put your own life in danger. Now, in 2020, rather in 2010, my usual look is a t-shirt and jean look. That was the girl I have always been throughout my life. Now, in 2010, all of a sudden, I am called for an interview. My first corporate job. In that instance, I'm required to dress up formally, but now being this person that I am who is comfortable with just jeans and a t-shirt, I felt a little threatened. What do I do now? Right. Instead of flighting or running away, I chose to show up nonetheless. And that day, I made sure that I looked the part. I ensured that I dressed to the T. I even thought to myself, wow, look at you, girl. You actually look the part. You play this corporate girl.
Zintle, glossophobia. You
So,
feeling yourself.
yes, feeling myself definitely.
Speech can
Self-confidence is very important because without confidence, we will fail at delivering what is expected of us. So suddenly, though I was feeling very confident in that moment, when I saw the other candidates, my mind started talking to me. They are better than you. What are you going to do? They are more qualified. I'm coming into this interview without a qualification. You don't belong here. Now you can imagine the imposter syndrome that hit me in that moment. But rest assured, as I entered the interview room, I entered there with professionalism. I was calm to a great extent. I showed up as a human being, but my body betrayed me. As confident as I felt, my body betrayed me. My hands shook. My voice trembled. Luckily, they paused and asked, "Do you need a glass of water?" Gladly, I said, "Yes, a glass of water."
At least they gave you a moment.
He's not giving us
much
a
for that.
moment.
They
We could
definitely
do with a glass of Madam VPPR special water now.
I think so.
Don't wish me for that special water. I am going to get you that water personally, especially for tomorrow. Thank you very much. The problem for me in that moment, although my hands were shaking, I realized that the problem wasn't my ability because I definitely knew the job. With or without the qualifications, I knew the job. Right, I see that my timer is
Madam Timer, cut, Madam Timer, cut.
You're ruining the story. Come on.
Hey, you have reached your destination. You have reached your destination.
Walk with confidence.
I am walking away with confidence. Was that 14 minutes already? Timer.
Okay, I see. I think we'll stop you there, ma'am. I think your audience, let me come to your rescue. They are grilling you. I don't know how you managed to keep your composure. If I was in your shoes, I would be cursing right now. Trust me, even pastors do the same. This is the most rowdy and unruly audience I've ever witnessed. You are even smiling now. This was lit. I loved it, but thank you so much. I wish everyone, each and every one of us here, learn the tricks of how to manage the audience. That is uncontrollable. Sure, I was just thinking, man, if it was me, no ways. I could have stopped a long time ago and maybe shout and do things if I was in the room. Maybe even punch people in the faces. I mean, what is this? Anyhow, thank you so much, Madam SAA. That was very entertaining. And thank you, audience, as well, for that performance. It was great. I enjoyed it. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our prepared speeches. And I think before we move further, I'm curious to find out, seeing that this last speech went a bit over time. I'm curious to find out, how did all our speakers do in terms of time? Madam Timekeeper, please come to the virtual stage and give us the timekeeper's report for the speakers. Over to you, ma'am.
I feel like I challenged myself so much with the speech because I was enjoying all the speeches, but just like they say, time is of the essence. I am happy to present my report regarding the prepared speeches, and the times are as follows. So the prepared speeches for the first two speakers were for 5 to 7 minutes. I'm going to start with the first speaker being speaker number 1, Niels, who spoke for 8 minutes, 13 seconds, followed by our second speaker, Toastmaster Pindile, who spoke for exactly 5 minutes. Joining the last speaker, the most entertaining one, went unfortunately for 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Over to you, Toastmasters of the evening. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Timer. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please now unmute again and give a combined big round of applause for all our speakers this evening. Poo, 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 poo.
Well done.
Rocket Queens, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was lovely. I feel so refreshed right now. This was fun. It was lit indeed. Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters, specifically to you. Special thanks to you, speakers. Thank you so much for all the hard work you've done, doing your research, writing your speeches, the rehearsals, and finally, your delivery. We are so grateful and we thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank you a billion times. Right. I've checked the chat, rather the list of participants who are still missing our Madam Table Topics Master. I'll check with Madam DVD. If Madam DVD, you can maybe unmute and tell us if you can maybe take the virtual stage and conduct that table topics for us. Martha?
Hey, good evening, and how are you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you for asking. I'm happy to hear your voice. How are you doing?
I'm good. My apologies. I'm in the dark, so I can't switch on my video. I wish you could have warned me before, but let's see what we can do with other table topics at the moment. But because this is it's titled the month of love, Valentine's Day. Some of us, we even forget about this day because love has run away from us a long time ago. But anyway, I am here and I'm happy to be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately today I won't be having my will because it's not prepared, but I'm gonna call one speaker quickly, and maybe the rest will come when I'm preparing for the second speaker. Can I have volunteers, Madam VPE or President, please assist me with the hands, if there are any hands on the visual platform quickly.
Pauline is volunteering, ma'am.
Oh, Pauline. Hi, how are you? Please come to the visual platform. Oh, Colleen. I thought you said Pauline. Hi, Colleen. Oh, let's give Colleen a round of applause. Colleen, are you a Toastmaster or you are a visitor?
Hi, everyone. I am a visitor. I used to be a Toastmaster, but not currently registered, so I'm a visitor.
Oh, wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for raising your hand while you are visiting us. It's so brave of you.
I
Okay.
did not, but I'm happy to volunteer.
So remember, this is a time for us to have fun. There is no right or wrong answer. If it's not fun, it's definitely not Toastmasters. So we are definitely going to have fun. Here is your question. What is the bravest thing you have done for love? What is the bravest thing that you have done for love?
Good evening, Toastmasters. I've been on the stage before, I've introduced myself, but just to reiterate, my name is Colleen, and although I might have mentioned that I usually am not fazed by being, caught off guard with regards to speaking, it doesn't mean that I always make sense when I do speak. I just enjoy yapping, so just be mindful of that. But anyway, I've had quite an interesting journey with love. And I think across all my relationships, the boldest thing I've ever done was in all my in all my unsureness, all the times I would be unsure in my relationship and not really know where I'm standing with the man and not be able to get hold of him, I would rock up at his place unannounced. If there is one thing I will do is I will rock up. So if you are not going to pick up my calls, if you're not going to stay in communication, if you're not going to let me what is going on, I will come and find the answers for myself. But having grown up now, I've realized that there's a bit of energy that it steals from me. So it's not particularly something I would enjoy doing now because I feel sometimes even in the presence, even in the absence of words, the silence is what the person is talking to you through. So yeah, that is definitely the bravest thing I've done because on some occasions, what I have found when I rocked up at the house is just not the man, but the man with his family. So you can imagine the awkwardness of me arriving there and everybody's just wondering, hi. And now I just kind of have to explain myself and why I'm there. And I mean, you have to understand that this would have been after I've already had a fight or an awkwardness with the said guy. So obviously the reception I'd get from him especially wouldn't be excitement. So you can just imagine how awkward that is. But if there is one thing that I used to do back in my relationship is rock up. And they knew it. They knew it, but I'm happy to say that I am a reformed non-rock hypist. I'm not even sure that's a word, but I mean, this is Toastmasters, by the way. Otherwise, thank you so much for the platform. This is exactly why I enjoy being a table topics participant because I love yapping. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying, but I absolutely love yapping. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Colleen. That was fun. I'm sure most of us we are reformed. We went to rehab for such things, rocking up, calling at wee hours, just for the sake of love. So can I get another? Remember, if you're not raising your hand, I'm going to choose you.
Both is volunteering.
Nobuhle, please come to the visual platform.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Unfortunately,
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
unfortunately, I
you.
can't turn on.
Inon
May I continue?
Sensio, how are you?
Yes, I am doing well, and you?
I'm good. Thank you for raising your hand to come to the table topics. Remember, if it's not fun, it's definitely not it's not Toastmasters. If it's not fun, it's definitely not Toastmasters. And we are here to have fun. There is no right or wrong answer, but it's for us to have fun. Okay. In this month of love, the question is, if there is a gift that you even wonder why they bought it to you today, what is it for Valentine's? Or have you ever found a gift that you looked at it and you're like, what was the person thinking buying this gift for me? Over to you, Inosisia.
Thank you. I can't turn on my video because I'm in a proper place, but I'm a visitor. I belong to Maputo Toastmasters Club. Going to the question, in fact, my wife or my girlfriend offers me, I would like to receive it, and I would like to recognize that she showed. Normally, I wouldn't like to complain. What I can say is thank you very much. That is a symbol of life. And the most important is not the price, the value of that thing, is the symbol of life for me. Back to you, tabletop.
Wow, Innocentio, thank you very much. You are a peaceful man. I get at that. You are a very peaceful and appreciative man. Your wife is a very lucky woman to have you. Like, you appreciate and you really, really love her. Thank you for sharing that with us. Who is next? We are 14 in this room and only 6 people have already spoken. So if you are not coming on the visual platform, I'm definitely going to call upon you. Who is raising their hand? I don't see hands. Okay, I'm going to choose. Let's go for Pindile. Pindile, please come on the visual platform.
I'm here.
Pindile, thank you very much. Well, for this year, I think maybe it's late, but for next year, where would you want to go and celebrate Valentine's Day?
I would like to go to the Maldives.
And why?
It's one of my dream destination. It's one of my it's in my bucket list to go there. And I'll think I'll have arrived once I visit there with my husband.
Thank you for that. We go into the Maldives in 2027 Valentine's Day. With
Oh,
any
yes.
gift that we are getting, we are not going to complain. And we are reformed.
Yep.
Again, we're not going to call or go to those people that are not answering our calls. Madam Timer, do we still have time or we done?
We still have time for one.
No, one more question. Okay, I'm coming for you, Madam Timer. Please come on the visual platform. That one more question is for you. If there is, yeah, no, it's just for fun. Remember, if it's not fun, it's definitely not Toastmasters. If there is a comedy or a movie that you will recommend for us single people to watch in Valentine's Day, what would it be? I'm definitely going to check it out tomorrow because I'll be sitting in my sofa sipping coffee.
If there was any movie that I would recommend for single people,
Yes, on Valentine's Day, specifically on Valentine's Day.
it would definitely be a Netflix series called How to Ruin Love. It's not something that is quite pleasant on the episodes, but the ending is actually wonderful because it reminds you that at the end of the day, you do choose love, no matter how challenging it is. It gives you a reminder of how you show up for love and knowing how you will be comfortable with the person that you love. With all these challenges of families, and also, I would definitely recommend you to watch that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Timer, for coming on the visual platform and playing with us on this fun time that is called Table Topics. Remember, we are reformed. We are not calling or visiting people who are not answering our calls, and we are going to be very appreciative of any gifts that we are getting. And in 2027, we are going to the Maldives for our Valentine's. And tomorrow, for some of us, we'll be watching a Netflix series, How to Ruin Love. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking this time and being part of this fun episode of Table Topics. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. A big round of applause to you, as well as the people who volunteered to participate in the table topics. Let's unmute and give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
You did it so good. Yeah.
I am so happy now. I'm looking at my time. According to the program, we are supposed to call our general evaluator and her team exactly at 1922. It means we have 2 minutes to spare. I will save that time and not wait for 1922. As it is 1922, Madam GE, please take over and call your team for the general evaluation, for this evaluation segments. Over to you, ma'am.
Madam G is having problems with weather and her Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure. She is trying to log on, but just let me know that she's having a problem.
Oh, I saw her few minutes ago and her video was on. I thought now she's good to go. But anyhow, I think I will start maybe by saying this. She will come later on. I will continue with this evaluation segments. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this means we are starting with our evaluations. The first person or the first evaluator that we had in this meeting evaluating the first speaker, it was Anele. Anele, I think we are ready on your side, ma'am, to evaluate Niels van der Merwe. Over to you, Anele.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Neil, well done on giving us a vibrant and lit speech. We were envisioning everything as it happened, as you were explaining it. We had a great visual representation of it. I could see that road rage, that frustration, and we were feeling the emotions as you were also. So well done on making sure you were visible enough, because that enabled us to see from your body language, the movements, and it also aligned with your vocal variety. It was on point. The movements emphasized your emotions and they gave a full idea of the scene of what was happening. And we felt as if, I don't know about everyone else, we felt as if we were in there on the scene with you as it happened. What I would like you to work on is to align your speech to time guidelines, especially for context preparation. You went way overboard. And also, just to try and maintain better eye contact. I do know it is a bit difficult since it's virtual. We sometimes glitch the camera, we look at the screen, but then now if you're looking at the screen too much, it also reads off as if you're reading. So that's a bit of a hard one to maintain, I'm well aware. So much for having COVID and in training us to attend things virtually. But yeah, just a bit of more eye contact for us to be able to maintain that connection with you as a speaker and as listeners. And lastly, a challenge I would like to present to you is to slow down a bit. I know it seems contradictory to what I'm saying, that we actually allowed us to be in there, but also there were parts where it felt as if you were running through, you wanted us to get this so that you can get on to the next one. and you would have noticed that you were at the end going a lot, like you were catching your breath a lot. You were not fully relaxed. You were trying, I don't know, maybe you're trying to get it out of your head as as how you envisioned it and as how you had prepared it. So if you slow down a bit more and you allow us to also have that receive it as the listeners and allow it to linger a bit more, we're able to more understand what you're saying and maintains the connection between the audience and the speaker, because once you run through it, it does allow us to lose that bit of connection. We get a bit distracted. And as just a small tip at the end, as a fellow Toastmaster said to me that one thing about a speech, we don't know what you're supposed to say, only you know. So had you had made a mistake and not said it exactly as how you're supposed to say it in sequence, we still wouldn't have not known. But all in all, great speech. I loved it. It did feel like a movie, as they had said, and well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Anele.
so much.
All right. Seems
Am I
like Madam
audible?
General. Yes, you are, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you so much, Anele, for that feedback. And to Nil, please take it to heart, go back to the drawing board and make those improvements where you need to, and continue honing the areas where you have excelled. I would like to call upon Umpendulo Dlamini to come to the virtual podium and give Upindile her evaluation.
Thank you, Madam GE. Yes, thank you for an amazing speech, TM Pindile, Toastmaster Pindile. And to answer your first question when you opened your speech, yes, I have listened to myself and it was the worst. It's always the worst feeling ever. That's why I don't like voice notes. And so, and your speech related to me a lot because especially after you described what analytical communicator is, I related to it. So I think I'm also an analytical communicator because most people I struggle to express my emotions, but I'm all about facts and data and all. So some areas that you did well at, you used codes to support your arguments and statements, which was very good. And two of my favorite codes were as follows. Being correct is not the same as being effective. And the second one is communication is not just about self-expression, but it is also about audience. It is also audience-centered. And in conclusion, you concluded with a strong take-home message whereby you said analytical communication is not about being quiet and serious, but it's also about being strategic. In terms of the areas of improvement, I would suggest that, of course, you had the camera issues, which let you down. But I would also suggest that you improve your vocal variety when you deliver a speech, especially when you are touching on the most important statements and messages, so that we can hear your message clearly and it can sit well with us. And to challenge yourself, I would say use pauses, especially after the most important statements or messages. Thank you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Mpendulo, for that feedback. I would like to just remind all the evaluators to please do send your written evaluations to the speakers so they have something tangible when they are improving their speeches. I would like to call upon Erica, who is our third evaluator, evaluating Uzinhle with the most difficult task tonight presenting. Erica, over to you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Zintle, what a job you had. This was such a difficult audience. I think we all got way too excited with the option of interrupting you, but you handled it so well. I really want to commend you on your calmness. You never lost your temper once. I was with Mr. President, I would have lost my temper. You were very professional throughout. You kept reminding people to mute. You asked people to put their comments in the chat. You did ask people to keep questions to the end. So very good tactics on how to manage the audience. My only tip for you, I think your sound quality detracted from the speech. Unfortunately, I think both you were not really able to hear properly what the audience was saying, and that kind of had a delay effect in the effectiveness of your addressing those particular interruptions. Perhaps it was also because you were on your phone, which made it difficult for you to see what was happening in the room, and the chat was full of stuff. So perhaps particularly for a speech like this, it needs a little bit more prep to make sure that you're, somewhere stable where your sound is really solid, because you do need to be able to hear. I think in an in-person room, it's different because you can see everyone and you're there, but online, your sound is really all you have at the end of the day. So that would be my only really tip for improvement is particularly for a difficult speech like this. I think if your sound quality had been better, you would have been able to address some of the interruptions a bit quicker. This also, you had some fantastic audience engagement questions in your speech, but again, your sound quality detracted from that because we weren't sure if it was audience engagement. Were you really wanting us to properly engage in the speech, or was it part of the interruptions? But again, it was, if we took the interruptions away, it was a fantastic way to engage the audience, asking for people's examples, etc. But I think we weren't sure because of your sound quality. And then just to end it off, I really loved the personal story at the end. And I wonder if you couldn't have brought that in earlier, because I think you could almost feel the warmth in the room. It almost killed the interruptions because then we were engaged. So perhaps a tip then is the sooner you bring in a personal story, the sooner your audience stops thinking about what do I want to say next and starts being fully listening to you. But it was such a powerful story. And I wish we could hear the end of your speech, because it sounds like it had a wonderful, powerful closing that I was looking forward to. So perhaps you can do the full 5 to 7 minute speech again, but without interruptions. I would love to hear that. Thank you so much for a great speech, and back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you so much, Erica. And to Zintle, yeah, that was a tough one, but I hope you'll take the tips with you and you will be better in the next speech. Now I would like to call upon our grammarian and accounter. Tell us, how did we translate all our mother tongue into English? Did you see our brains glitching with the translation? Over to you, Madam VPPR.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I'm hearing and I'm buzzing with all these brains that are working, and Eskimo cocktail, definitely the way to go, especially with a speech like Zintle's. Now for my report as grammarian. First, the word of the day. Not too many people used it, but the people that did went the extra long mile. Our Toastmaster of the evening, our president, used it at least 7 times. Sibo Mgolozeli, our Toastmaster, our general evaluator, 4 times. And I nearly used it once. If I missed anyone else out, I'm so sorry. But between the water and the catnip and the laughter, I could have missed on a few. Then going on to the language. Our Mr. President, our Toastmaster of the evening, did a beautiful quote at the beginning of his speech and welcome. Once you learn to read, you will always be free. This was very apt for not only for the beginning, but also because we are a Visionary Readers Club. Book club is essentially, and then became a Toastmasters, and about freedom, which is our theme of the day, which is for the Black history of for the month. Then Tumelo, epic introduction, lit completely and utterly, the keeper of the agenda. We were cruising, our destination was clear and nearby, and then we parked with confidence. Niels, you used very picturesque speech. You fell in love with my flowers and not with my roots, and you went on to do figurative speech with linking roots and flowers to deeds, actions, and conflict. Pindile, leader is influence, beautiful quote. You also used excellent words like root cause, analysis has a shadow, correct is not the same as being effective. That was very visual. Anele, you use the beautiful word envisaging or envisage. Speaker number 3, Zintle, rooted in the echoes of our past. That's with relationship to public relations or public speaking and our fear. And glossophobia, I will never forget that word with 2 S's, not 3. Then over to my R-counter report. Basically, we all did very, very well. I think our laughter and the spirit of being lit and vibrant really took away our inhibitions and our repetitions. Niels used well twice. Pendulo repeated yo, so a couple of times, and one R, one and 2 I picked up. And that is a wrap up for my R counter log. And over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian and our counter. I think now we are getting to the end of our program. Just want to see if it's me or the timer before myself. Okay, I see the timer. Madam Timer, but I'm going to give my report so you can time me as well in my report before I call upon you. Ladies and gentlemen, my report is as follows. I believe that the meeting started on time because I could see our president encouraging everybody to join the meeting already at 15:40. Unfortunately, and at that time, I was still struggling to join the meeting. Zoom was acting up. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember my Gmail password. The roles descriptions were done until, of course, I briefly graced your screen for a millisecond. And then poof, I was gone. Like a magic trick that has gone bad. However, because at Toastmasters, we learn to be versatile and we learn to be quick, the Toastmaster of the evening managed that situation gracefully. And then we went on to the speeches. What has caught my eye is that even though our theme is about Black History Month, where we are asking everyone to reflect and recognize, our speeches had a different meaning to Black History Month, reflect and recognize. From the first speaker with the speech title, Conflict versus Encouragement. The big gray, can't remember if it was white or gray, elephant was not only voiced, but it was also acknowledged. And to me, that said, reflect and recognize. The second speaker with the speech title, The Mirror Doesn't Lie, didn't just look at the mirror, but did an introspection and reminded us that if you do not introspect, you cannot grow because you cannot change what you do not know. And that said to me, reflect and recognize. Then to our third speaker with the most difficult task, The speech title, The Shaking Glass. Speaking through fear, managing a very difficult audience with all the technical challenges that one can experience in a virtual platform, reminded us that just because you are feeling the fear, it doesn't mean you cannot do it. And she also reminded us that fear is not our enemy. It is actually our advocate. The one thing that actually reminds you to be cautious while you are moving forward. Our speakers, okay, let me go to our timer, Madam Timer. In terms of time, I think with the last speech, you were laughing too much. You forgot to time. You said Zintle spoke for 15 minutes and 48 seconds. That means she was only about 18 minutes over time. However, you started showing your red card well in advance before the 15 minutes was over. So just to remind you, I know, and you can easily get distracted, especially with an interesting speech like Zintle. So be mindful when you are doing a role and ensure that you execute it precisely. Our table topics, beautiful. Unfortunately, I went off. My internet started acting up. But Colleen, we can't wait to welcome you back home. And wow, what a brave character showing up. I could never. I loved your stories and I can't wait to hear more. Innocentia, thank you so much for gracefully accepting the gesture, not the gift. That was beautiful, and I thought you are the gentleman. I didn't hear the third speaker, unfortunately. Then I was in for evaluation. At Toastmasters, we normally use a method where we give speakers a few points that they excelled in, points where they can improve, and a challenge. And I'm glad that most of our evaluators used that method. Our first evaluator emphasized power of pausing. What a coincidence, because our president actually posted a video about the power of pause earlier in the week to remind everyone to use the power of pausing. Second evaluator emphasized the vocal variety. However, he did not mention the power of presence that Kindile actually put on her video. I understand the challenges, but remember, when you are speaking, if we cannot see you, we do not pay attention to you. People's brains are more visual than just hearing. So we lose a whole lot of your speech because we don't see you. We don't see the body language. Third evaluator, thank you for highlighting the most important thing, the device sound quality. Yes, Zintle, your speech was powerful, but it was difficult. And I thought mainly it was my network issues with the rain because I missed most of it, but I tried to engage as much as I could. Madam Grammarian, thank you for the beautiful report, for noticing powerful, impactful phrases that were said in the speeches, and for reminding us that as Africans, most of us, I'd like to believe, who are here, with English not being our first language, as we translate our mother tongue into English, sometimes we use those clash words and giving us tips on how we can eliminate those clash words. Thank you very much. Now I would like to give upon our timer to give us the overall timing of the meeting from table topics. Over to you, Madam Timer.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm now struggling with my video. See if you can see me now. Can anyone see me? Okay. All right. I now lost time as some reports were given. I'm sure probably the first evaluator, I didn't count the time properly. But ladies and gentlemen, we move forward. I'm happy to present the overall timer report for the evaluators. And I will start with Anele. I probably missed about 10, 15 seconds of it. But when I came back, I was able to record at 2 minutes, 22 seconds. The second evaluator being Mpendulo, he spoke for 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Our third evaluator, Erica, spoke at most 3 minutes. And Toastmaster Anna, who spoke for 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Now, moving over to the table topics, that also was a challenge to keep time, but at least with the time that I managed to use, it actually ended to 9 minutes, 59 seconds. I will go on to the first volunteer, Colleen, who spoke for 3 minutes, 1 second. The second volunteer, being Anastasia, spoke for 1 minute and 2 seconds, followed by speaker number 2, Pindile, who spoke for only 45 seconds, followed by myself, where I was able to record 59 seconds on my end. Overall, I think being lit also does have to show you the difference between being punctual and showing a strong awareness of time. I believe in moments where we went overboard with time, we will learn that effective time management will enhance clarity, structure, and impactful thought throughout the meeting. And as we reflect, recognize during this Black Month history, we are reminded that powerful voices shaped history. Even the speeches that were presented today about the fears, the power of love, those remain in the books of Toastmasters 2026, 13 February. And not just because what was said, but also time also mattered, and we will do better where it wasn't done. We didn't just manage minutes as well, we honored moments. I want to thank everyone for this opportunity, and back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Madam Timer. And yes, it is true. We didn't just count or give nuggets in this meeting. We honored people's passion and goals that they had set for themselves. Now I hand back over to the Toastmaster of the evening. Back to you, Dr. Sibo.
Thank you so much, Madam VPE, aka General Evaluator, for this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it will be fair again to give our Madam VPE a huge round of applause and her team, especially for her tenacity despite the network challenges. She persevered, and here she is now, completing her job. Big round of applause for her.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we are almost there in terms of time. We are 3 minutes before I do the final remarks or concluding remarks and ask our Madam SAA to close us off. But before I do that, we always love to hear feedback at Toastmasters, especially from our guests and visitors. We have a returning guest now who couldn't say a word in this meeting, but I know she's going to join us very soon. Okay, let me think. Nobuhle, I think we will give you a chance, ma'am, just to share whatever is in your mind. I know I've put you in the spotlight before. I was just trying to figure out what specific question can I ask you. Maybe the specific question I can think of now is, when can we expect to write your name down in our record books as our official member? Because I know you've been waiting to join, and I think there's no better time than now. if you can unmute and please share your story with us.
Hi,
You can show your...
Toastmasters.
Hello. There you
Hello.
are.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Um, it was a lit meeting. I enjoyed it as every time I come here, I learn a lot. I'm still intentional to join, and I think the question is when. When? So to be specific, I will join 1st of March. My name will be down. I'm happy for myself
Right.
too.
Okay, we have Madam VIP, I mean it's Mr. now, Mr. Vice President membership. Please take note. I will forward you the details of Nobushe so that you can get in touch with her. So we'll remind you, Nobushe, no problem. But now one thing I wanted to mention, I know you're in Durban. We also have a member of the club who is based in Durban. I'm not sure whether now she's in Durban or she's in Europe. She's sometimes in and out of the country. Our Madam VPPR, Anna Costa, she was our Madam Grammarian and Accountant in this meeting. So if you're a member, maybe it could be good once you are join and she's around Durban. Maybe you meet up for coffee and she will, tell you a few things about Toastmasters. So that would be nice.
I'm in Durban.
Oh, yeah, in Durban. Now, there you
Wow.
are, Nobushe.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. I'll appreciate that. Thank you
Wonderful.
so
I
much.
look forward to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. I think, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, I have to do the announcements now. At least we've heard everyone else who is here. We've heard their voice, whether they are visitors or guests. At this point, I have one announcement. Some of you are aware that we are in the speech contest or club contest and area contest it's competition time. Basically, we have three categories: the Toastmasters, the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. But unfortunately, since we're an online club, I reached out to a few members to see if they would be interested to participate or to partake in the contest. But I think most of us were not ready, considering the fact that you have to be in the venue around Pretoria, since we belong to an area that is under Pretoria. So unfortunately, it's no longer online. We've moved away from COVID. We cannot compete because of that. I know even Madam Treasurer wanted to participate in the prepared speeches, but knowing that she's in Joburg and is a bit far in Pretoria for area contest, we cannot participate. But hopefully next time we would be maybe mobile or maybe willing to travel wherever the area or district and division context will be. We'll be able to have a member of our club representing us in those different levels. But otherwise, the last and final, I did not use the redundant language, last and final, that means the same thing. So the final announcement, ladies and gentlemen, is that our next meeting and second and final meeting of the month is on the 23rd? No, not 23rd, 27th, because we always keep one Friday. We meet on the second and fourth Friday. So today is the 13th, the second Friday. Our final meeting for this month is on the 27th of February. I do hope I can meet you all during that date and that time. I'll be here. I do hope I'll be here because I know the theme is interesting and I have something to share around that theme. And I'm looking forward to it because I want to deliver my icebreaker. I haven't spoken in a while. So please join us. Remember that date, diarize, and make sure you prepare either as a speaker, evaluator, whatever role you want to take. And please reach out, especially for our newest members, to your mentor. If you are not sure about a particular role, they will help you, orient you, or mentor you for that specific role. We love selfies in our club. I think we feel not just lit, we feel handsome, we feel beautiful. So towards the end, always open our videos to take selfies. Please be ready. I will hand over now to Madam SAA. And while I'm handing over to her for the closing remarks or the word of thanks, Just keep your video on. You don't have to say anything. I'll be taking selfies in the background. Madam SAA, my job is done now. I hand control back to you.
Mr. President, and what an alive meeting we had. And as we would have called it, according to the word of the day, it was lit throughout. And for the last time during this meeting, I'm going to ask that we turn this litness a notch higher. I was promised a happy birthday, so here is your opportunity. So I'm going to ask that you unmute and please do me the honors before we officially say goodbye and good night for this meeting.
Let's do it.
I was singing.
Yes.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Happy
Go.
birthday
To you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday
in
Birthday
advance.
to
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Hip, hip,
birthday.
hooray.
birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray.
Hooray!
That was
How
lit.
old
you.
are you now? How old are you now?
None of
How
your business,
old
Madam
are
Timer.
you now?
Madam Timer, just to answer your question, I am 27 with 10 years experience.
Wow.
Aging gracefully, I see, hey?
Really a good age to be.
Wishing you a fruitful year ahead.